Hello, Year 8. Our last section of work in this topic is on non-linear graphs. So far, all of the graphs that we've been drawing are what we call linear graphs or straight lines. There are plenty of other types of graphs out there that are not straight. We're not going to look at all of them. There's far too many. We're just going to look at one specific type of graph today that is not linear or not straight, which is the one that we call a parabola. So a parabola will always have an equation where there is an x squared in it. Okay, as soon as you see that squared, you know that you're going to have the basic parabola shape. So just like we did with straight lines, we're going to fill in a table to give us an idea of what this graph looks like. So we've made the table a little bit bigger. We've gone from -3 to 3. We're going to draw the parabola y is equal to x squared. So using our calculator, we want to put -3 into that equation. So that means whenever you're squaring something, it's a good idea to put it in brackets. So we're going to put -3 in brackets, and we're going to square that with our little squared button there. So -3 squared is equal to 9. Now, it is very important that you have those brackets, otherwise it won't square your minus sign. Now I want to do my next value, so I'm just going to go backwards here and I'm going to delete that 3 and turn it into a 2. So -2 squared is 4. Then I want -1 squared, which is 1. Then I want 0 squared. I don't need the minus sign, so 0 squared is 0. 1 squared, so some of these you might not need your calculator for. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared, putting the 2 in there now. 2 squared is 4. And the last one is 3. 3 squared is 9. Okay, so on the graph down here, I'll fill in that other table in just a moment. I'm going to cut this in the middle here. And vertically. So y-axis, x-axis. So we're going 1, 2, 3, and -1, -2, -3, and positive values going up, negative values going down. Okay, so for this first one, our first point was -3, so -3 up to 9. -2, 4, -1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 4, and 3, 9. So you can see that's definitely not a straight line. What you want to do is you're curving down. There's like a point, a curvy point here at the bottom, and it comes back up. And that is our basic parabola, y is equal to x squared. The next one that we have under there, we have y is equal to -x squared. Just means that we want to put a minus in front. So we have a minus at the front. Then we have our bracket, and we want to put -3 bracket squared in there. So that's going to make a -9. Then when we put -2 in, so we delete that and make -2 equals -4. And you can see I'm actually getting all the same values as before, but they're now negative where they were positive before because of that minus sign. So I'm just changing the sign of everything. So negative, and then 0 squared is 0, and then 1 is going to become a -1, And just to save some time, that's going to be a -4 and a -9. So parabolas, you'll find, are symmetrical. Once you've done half of the values and you start seeing the same numbers come back again, then the pattern is going to continue. So let's sketch that one down on my Cartesian plane. So my first point is -3, -9. Then we have -2, -4, -1, -1, 0, 0, 1, -1, 2, -4, and 3, -9. So the shape of this parabola is the same as the last one. All that's happened by putting that minus sign in front of the x squared, we've reflected the whole parabola over the x-axis. Okay, on the next page we have a couple more parabolas here to draw. So it says graph the quadratic function, which is another fancy way of saying parabola, of y is equal to x squared plus 3. So remember, we want those brackets in there. So we want bracket, the first x value we're going to put in is -3 close bracket squared, but this time we need to plus an extra 3 on the end. So that makes 12. Then we need to do that for each of the values. So we want -2, so 7. Then we want to do -1 squared plus 3. Then we want to do 0 squared plus 3 is 3. Then we want to do a 1 squared plus 3 is 4. See how we're going back up again? So you could probably have a guess that these last two numbers are going to be a 7 and a 12. You can keep subbing them into your calculator if you'd like to check that. Let's also try, while we're filling in, let's do the second one as well. So this one has a minus sign at the front. Then we need brackets for our -3 close bracket squared, -4. So we start with -13. Then change that -3. We want to put -2 in there now. So that becomes -8. Now we want to put -1 in there. So that's -5. Now we put 0, which is -4. And we've hit the bottom point, but let's just do one more anyway so we can see that. So if we put 1 in there, we know that we're back with these other numbers again. So we've got -5, then -8, and then -13. Okay, so to draw those on the Cartesian plane, I'm just shrinking it down so I can fit it on the page. Now, because I have some quite large numbers in here, going up to 12 and 13, I'm not going to fit that many. I'm not going to be able to fit those outside values on there. So label these X and Y. So we've got 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. So I can only get to 9. I'm not going to be able to get to the 13. But that's okay. We'll still get an idea of what it looks like. Okay. So for the first equation, I had x is -3, y is 12. Can't fit it. So let's go to the next one. X is -2, y is 7. X is -1, y is 4. 0 is 3. 1 is 4. 2 is 7. And 3 and 12 can't fit on my graph. So there it is. That's the graph of y is equal to x squared plus 3. So it's the same shape as the first parabola, but that +3 has moved what we call the vertex of our parabola up 3 places. Let's do the second one. Our minus 3 minus 13 is not going to fit. So minus 2 minus 8, minus 1 minus 5, 0 minus 4, 1 minus 5, 2 minus 8. And so here is my second parabola. So the minus sign at the front turned it upside down again, and subtracting 4 moved it down 4 places. So that's y is equal to minus x squared minus 4. Now that's really enough. These questions on the next page, you can just put a line through that page. We're not going to do those ones. They're a little bit harder than what you need to do at this stage. And there's just a couple of questions, not much at all, just 2 questions here in exercise 12 to practice drawing a couple of parabolas. And that's it. That's the end of our topic.